Hello everyone, my name is Babal Preetkar and here I want to present the topic that is personal hygiene practices. As we all know, the personal hygiene practices plays a significant role in the workplace as well as it is important for handling procedures. Moreover, it is important to prevent the cross-contamination and foodborne illness in the workplace area. The next is the importance of personal hygiene practices to food and nutritional management. As we all know, the good practices leads to healthy and nutritional management practices, as well as it is important for maintaining the nutritional level of the food. Rather than that, there are some government departments such as Food Quality and Food Safety and Quality Act ensures that all the restaurants and department have the license as well as the food inspector for maintaining the safety hazards in the workplace. The next is the concept of hygienic practices. In general, we know that the personal hygiene practices are important for avoiding the foodborne diseases, as well as it is important for maintaining the hygienic conditions in the workplace. In addition to that, it is important for the workers to know about the basic training methods for maintaining the hygienic conditions in the workplace. Next, there will be the 10 personal fundamental hygienic practices, like we have to wash our hands thoroughly and we have to wear neat and clean clothes and always report an illness to the supervisor or the manager. It is very important. In this slide, we know about the responsibility that there are some persons who are responsible for maintaining the nutritional and personal hygienic conditions in the environment. So the first one is the supervisor and the food manager, who is responsible for maintaining the hygienic conditions in the organization. And rather than that, it is the responsibility of the whole team to maintain the hygienic conditions on their own level for their health as well as for the workplace. Moreover, the owner and the manager are responsible for setting up some training procedures for the workers, and also the food handlers are responsible for knowing about the foodborne illness, effective cleaning methods, and practices for the hygienic conditions, as well as for maintaining the allergic management in the workplace. There are some food hygienic checklists like there should always be the presence of first aid kit as well as the cleaning list for the food preparation area, and the clean water we have to use for the testing values or the um, cleaning of utensils or for using the other purposes, as well as the pest control monitoring and the temperature management is essential for the hygienic practices. So what is the significance of the hygienic condition? The basic principle that is involved is the clean environment help to prevent the spreading of disease as well as the customer satisfaction, because all the customer want the clean and neat environment for having their meals. In these slides, I want to describe about the foodborne illness. So, what is foodborne illness? It is generally occur due to contaminated food, and there are plethora of reasons that why it is occur. Like there are some bacteria, viruses, and microorganisms that are responsible. So, the most common bacteria for foodborne illness is the norovirus, salmonella, and clostridium. In these slides, I want to describe about the food associated with the foodborne illness. So, in general, the raw foods such as raw meat, fish, poultry are most prone to foodborne illness. Rather than that, the unwashed fruits and vegetables and the other things are most prone to the foodborne illness diseases. Here I want to describe about the cross contamination. So cross contamination act as the main reason for converting the food into unsafe conditions, and there are three factors that are responsible. The first one is the physical factor, like it involves while we having the dirty hands or nails or while we are wearing jewelry while working in the workplace. It is the factor for spreading the disease from one thing to another. The next is the biological factor. So there are some bacteria, viruses, molds, and parasites that are responsible for the food spoilage. The most harmful bacteria are the Salmonella and norovirus and E. coli. And the next one is the chemical contamination. So, chemical contamination generally occurs due to the cleaning agents that we use for the cleaning purposes or for the sanitizing of the floors or for cleaning the utensils or the crockeries. So there are some prevention methods for cross contamination. The first one is the washing of hands. So we have to wash our hands because the unwashed hands leads to the cross contamination, as well as with the utensils, plates, and glass needs to be cleaned properly. So the next is the avoid touching food with unwashed hand. As we all know, we contain lot of bacteria and viruses, and that being the reason that it's transferred from our hands to the food. And the next is the storage practices. It is important to store and maintain the temperature of the foods regularly to avoid the cross contamination and the disease prevention. So, in this slide, I would describe the importance of hygiene practices. As we all know, the hygiene practices are very important for everyone. The most common factor include is the disease prevention. As we all know, the viruses, bacteria are present in our body, and it easily transfer from food to food, thing to thing. So it is necessary to have and maintain the personal hygiene to avoid these type of things. Also, it reduces the effect of cross contamination and the rapidly spreading of disease and lead to a good environment condition. So here are the some six personal hygienic factors that must be required for food handlers. Like they have to wear proper gloves, hat, mask, and safety shoes, and a neat and clean apron and jacket. Hygienic practices. So we all know that we have to wash our hands before using the restrooms or before touching the food, and always we have to wear gloves. And apart from that, we have to use a hair net, and we have clean and short nails, and always avoid wearing jewelry while working in the restaurant area or in the kitchen department, or as well as if someone feeling unwell, he she know that they have to report to the supervisor or the manager. So, in the summary, as we all know, the food safety always depend on the handling practices. A good handling practices leads to a good environment conditions for both the workers and for also the customers. In addition to that, there are some responsibilities and basic rules that must be followed by everyone to maintain the hygienic conditions in the workplace. Rather than that, we all know that the inspection plays a significant role in the handling practices, and a food inspector is plays a crucial role for knowing and telling the fact that must be required for the handling practices in the workplace, like such as in restaurants or in the long term cares or everywhere. Apart from that, we know about the foodborne illness and cross contamination and the importance of personal hygienic conditions for maintaining the safety hazards. So, there are some text questions that must be described from the whole presentation. Like the first one is foodborne illness mainly occur due to cross contamination, and second one is training should be based on importance of personal hygiene practices, and the third one is raw food is most prone to cross contamination condition. These are the three questions that must be that is initiated from the presentation. And Thank you so much.